Ingrid here for the Metal Review with Cy from Onslaught.
Hello, good evening.
Horns up. So, Cy, how has the tour gone? Have you been able to find the beer that you like to drink?
The beer has really been left in the fridge. We haven't really done much drinking at all. It's been such a hectic schedule. We're in Toronto. This is number 16 of 21. So it's thus far it's 15 nights on the trot. And you've got to look after your body, your voice, especially for me. I'll have a couple of beers after the show, but there's no extreme drunkenness at all on this tour, I'm pleased to say.
You're being good lads, are you?
We're being very good, yes.
So, back in the day when you started with Onslaught, things were more of a punk age. What brought you to the metal age?
Well, I joined just before The Force was recorded. The boys originally, Nige and the original drummer Steve, were influenced by punk, Discharge, English Dogs, The Exploited, and just figured one day, let's just buy a guitar or let's buy a drum kit and form a band, which they did. They couldn't play their instruments, and over a period of time, a couple of years, well, I think there was 2 years, the band formed in '83. The first album was '85, so I think they did exceptionally well to be able to master their instruments to the level of Power from Hell. And then it was just a progression from there. You know, by the time we got to The Force, which was only a year later, I joined and added this sort of metal injection, if you like, with the vocal for The Force. And we're still influenced by punk. I would say what we tried to achieve on Sounds of Violence was we tried to recapture that original punk attitude, and I think we've done that quite successfully on songs like Hatebox, for example. And it's got a real punk attitude to it. It's cool.
You basically have answered now 3 questions in one answer. High five.
High five.
Yes, so that answers actually my next question.
Oh,
because,
okay.
You know,
I do tend to waffle on with answers of mine. So yeah.
And no, that's wonderful. I think the fact that you've gone from punk to metal isn't a far stretch. As we all know, there's always that debate.
Absolutely, yeah.
You
Absolutely.
know, that is actually the progression I see.
An awful lot of punk bands tried to cross over to metal, but their fan base didn't allow them to continue with it. I mean, Discharge tried it with I can't remember the name of the album now, but they tried it, didn't they? But their fans wouldn't let them do it. They hated it, so Discharge went back to doing what they do best, you know, the original punk stuff. So
do you feel, given the fact that you've crossed over to metal, has that been maybe more successful for Onslaught in the end?
I guess it would be, yeah. I see a wider audience, basically. And I think, when they were writing the songs for The Force, the general consensus was that we need a new vocalist, because Mo, vocalist, wasn't able to sort of expand on the tracks. You know, it was so I did an audition. I sang, and the song I auditioned with was Metal Forces, and I sang a verse and the chorus of Metal Forces without even hearing it. Okay, here's the lyrics. Sing this in how you think it should be sung.
Your interpretation.
My interpretation. So I went. I sang it and I got the job. That was cool. And they're obviously looking to sort of expand, to progress into the metal realm, you know.
Sounds of Violence recorded in Denmark through AFM Records in Germany.
Yes, indeed.
Do you feel then that the tunes that you have written, recorded, and now playing on the road really give the societal feel of what's going on in the world?
Oh, definitely. This is what I think we've always... maybe not with The Force, but certainly with Killing Peace and Sounds of Violence. Yeah, Nige is the lyricist for the band, and he's got a lot of issues. He's quite angry with the world, and we never put things right. So just we raised some issues, you know.
Yes.
Born for War is about child suicide bombers, which I'm not sure whether it still happens in the Middle East, but there was a spate of suicide bombings involving young children, and the song sort of focuses on a 7-year-old boy who was sent out as a suicide bomber, which any mother, I mean, what?
Yeah.
Any parent, how could you cope with that? How could you cope with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's obviously we're still quite heavily into the religious theme, but not really not the satanic theme. Godhead is about a religious cult based in the United States of America called the Children of God, but it sort of covers the whole madness of religious cults, really, you know. And when we were driving up through, we on this tour, we started in Seattle, we went down through California and down Arizona,
Yes.
Texas. Driving up through Texas, there were signs through Waco. You know, I remember back at home in the early days of satellite television. That was the real first live event I think I sat and watched on, you know, BBC News or Sky News. This crazy siege in this religious cult, and then
Yes. Yeah, I hear you. I was one of the audience members, and it was very, very heartfelt to know that this was going on, and children were involved too there.
Unfortunately, yeah, every time.
Yeah. Well, we don't have any religious questions for you today. You probably had umpteen number of those at this rate. What I want to ask you next, then, given on this tour, what is your favorite city, your favorite venue, perhaps, or country? You know, however you want to define your favorite, for whatever reason.
It's very difficult to comment on favourite cities. We haven't really seen any. It's been as I say, it's been a show every day. It's been drive, show, hotel, drive, show, hotel. So yeah, the world passes you by at 70 miles an hour on the bus, you know, and you only things we get. The only part of America we get to see was really truck stops.
Okay, so maybe I should say based on even past tours in Europe, or, you know.
It's been pretty much the same in Europe, actually. Yeah, when you tour, you tour. It's not as glamorous as people would have you make out. It's hard work. You don't get time to party often. We're saving the party for the last night of the tour in Washington. Whether Washington's a party town, I don't know. We're going to party with Obama.
Good luck on that one.
And we get arrested. We miss the flight home, so we'll be thrown in some penitentiary somewhere.
Tell me, what is your opening number and closing number? Are there signature numbers that you open and close with?
We open with Killing Peace, and we explore every album en route, and we finish with the obvious number, really, Power from Hell.
Power from Hell, right on. So one more question, because I think the band's about to start. Pick a number from 1 to 5.
4.
4? Okay. This is a fan-based question.
Okay.
What do you do professionally other than being a musician?
It's very difficult being a full-time musician and holding down a job, a day job. I work part-time. I do a couple of things. It pays the bills, basically. My wife has been fantastic. In the last couple of years, she has supported me, you know, through the tough times of being on the road and being in a band. So you don't earn the money. You know, it takes a long, long time, and we're hoping now with the next album we can just climb another step on the ladder and earn some more money doing it. When I get home now, I am gonna go and have to find a way of earning some money for a few months. So I just do what I do to get by.
You're a jack of all trades.
Master of none. Jack of all trades,
yes.
master of none.
Yes, right on.
And I'm not very good at DIY.
Now, there's a story.
Extreme close-up.
Extreme close-up. Ooh.
I was, my wife said to me, because we need a new fence up on the side of the house, because it's all open. And she said, can you fix the fence before you go away? Yes, of course I can. So I started taking out the concrete from the original fence posts to obviously fit new posts. And I had a slight mishap with the hammer.
Oh, smash!
Ended up having an operation.
Oh.
And they come out the day after we get back, unfortunately. I got very little movement in them, and it's just a darn nuisance.
One more thing before we finish up. I have a request on behalf of Regina. She told me to give you guys a big hug.
Woo!
So I'm going to give you a big hug. And second, make sure you're eating properly.
Eating properly?
Yes.
We're eating properly.
All right, I did my job. I gave you the message. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you very much.
I'm looking forward to the show. Now, if you were to dedicate a song to me, what song would you dedicate to me?
It's a song I dedicate every night to everybody in any club, any gig in the world. Because we are the Metal Brotherhood, we are the Metal Brothers and Sisters of the Road, and that would be Metal Forces.
Metal Forces! Yeah! Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much for having me. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.